Just here. Let the shortest girl be the person who holds the fucking... It's all right.
Tell us all.
Thanks, Dave. We got it? Yeah, we... It's not my job, other people's jobs. Yeah, there we go. All right. It's my privilege and honour to represent not only my people, the Butchulla people of Fraser Island, but also Team Indigenous, who will be representing our people in the Nationals next weekend. Thank you. There's a few of us that have been here throughout the weekend, and it's now my privilege to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we meet on this weekend, the Gubbi Gubbi people, both elders past, present and future, and the beautiful surroundings that we are privileged to have as our hallowed ground of Tropicarnage Cup. So good luck both teams, and thank you everyone for supporting us.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the Tropicarnage Grand Final?
Okay. Okay. Something's going wrong now. Hey, hey. Oh, here we go now. A good time. And we are off and ready, ripping and roaring, ripping and tearing. This is the grand final for 2018 Tropicarnage. And this is between the Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers taking on a rematch of the Century from this weekend between the with them and the Sydney Roller Derby League Assassins, not to be confused with the Coastal Assassins Roller Derby Assassins.
No, that's it. I think we'll find that the Coastal Derby Assassins are just the plain Assassins. The other ones are the Assassins. But now we've already had one trophy, awesomely won by Tweed Valley. And we've already got one trophy leaving the state, so we definitely do not want another one. Now, what we'll do, we'll just go through the skaters' names during the skate out. Now, out there in the white, we have the Sydney Roller Derby League, the Assassins. We've got number 12, Peppermint Snaps. Number 120, Pure NRG. 123, Warragamba Damsel. Number 161, Unsteady. 222, Vanessa Shredgrave. 389, Lethal. 40, Kitty Hawk. 52, Honey Punch. Number 8, Miranda. And the captain, co-captain, I do believe, as along with Kitty Hawk, will be 88, Minky. Bench coach, Mr. Bump. Coach assistant, Stockard Slamming, and lineups, Hertamisia.
And I believe you should see the Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers in the red. Not doing a traditional skate out start thing, but there we go. Being led by their captain up the front there. The Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers are 00 Zoom, number 115 Necrophilia, number 245 Sawyer Legs Off, number 313 Kimbo Kaze, number 32 Scare Bear, number 33 Big Chester, number 37 Happy Cadaver, number 4 Dopamine, number 40 Unforgiving Bunny, number 72 Vixen, number 8 Pulp Friction, number 911 Bow Fracture, number 981 Ashes to Smashes, and helping out on their bench is Elvis, along with Snaptick Knid, Blondie, and Claire Project. I refuse to say that middle name.
You don't have to. How about just CBP? And as you can see, it is some beautiful artistic skating down there, led by Scare Bear and Necrophilia. Absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful. Actually touched my heart.
So Pulp Friction, a bit of an embellishment, like nice little. So these two teams have met this weekend, if you're just tuning in. So did face off against each other on Saturday night. BCR not taking away the victory, but did fight tooth and nail in their rest of their games so that they can be here in this grand final. Sydney, I believe they're undefeated. So
In
this shall
all
be
4 games, I believe, Grinner.
Gosh, Diane.
Yes, now hopefully, me personally, I am pro Queensland, so hopefully the plastic-coated, gold-plated cup will stay in Queensland. But if Sydney has their way, it will also be back on the bus or hitchhiked in a truck all the way back to the Homeland Club in Sydney.
So enough with our unprepared sports. This is us pretending to be proper sports commentators. Now it's all down here from here, baby.
No, that's exactly it. And if you can hear it's the screaming beside us, it's actually Honest Dave and Mr. Eddie McPants McGuire.
Oh, but we are getting started at Necrophilia. Number 115 in the red for the BCR Punk Blockers has become our lead jammer.
And in the white, we have number 222, Vanessa Shredgrave, battling out on a flat track for Sydney, the Assassins.
So Necrophilia still on her first pass, going for the outside line. May have gotten all 4 points in that wish-wash. Yep, that she did.
Now, up here in the video village, we have myself, Meat Biscuit, we got Blacktooth Grinner, we got the Eagle Eyes of Video Bob, and on the camera we have none other than a Johnny Smash. It's almost like a dream team, Grinner.
I just don't think it gets any better. Life after this in an hour's time, it's going to be a real struggle. Just got to wait till that next Tropicarnage.
Well, that's exactly, and I almost can't wait. Now, welcome to the Jammer line. We have 1, 2, 3, Warragamba Damsel for Sydney Roller Derby League, the Assassins.
Or as her friends back in Bass across the border, we can just say damsel.
Okay. I'm just obsessed by W words. I can't help myself.
And the BCR Pump Blockers Dopamine, who currently is our lead jammer, has gotten 1 point at least so far. Cherry Popper says 2.
It says 2, yeah, Warragamba Damsel just couldn't hunt down the speed of the pack from Brisbane City Rollers. But we've only not even 2 minutes starting in this bout, so there's still plenty of time. And we can welcome number 161 in the white for Sydney, Unsteady.
And into the black for the punk. Red. I can tell colours. Number 8, Pulp Friction.
I mean,
So one of the jammers who's just recently stepped up to the A-grade side, had her first game November last year.
November last year. And it's battling out on the flat track in the finals right now. That's awesome fresh meat. Gee whiz.
And Pulp Friction trying to make her way around.
Now, Unsteady is lead jammer, but both jammers doing it pretty tough against their opposing walls. Unforgiving Bunny and Scare Bear have completely enveloped Unsteady. Yeah, and just equally as bad is number 40, Kitty Hawk, and number 52, Honey Punch, are doing the exact same thing to the BCR jammer.
And Kimbo cars are coming out of the bin, giving a bit of offense there. So that means Pulp Friction is out.
I think there was might have been a multiplayer block, so Sydney lost.
Oh, Pulp Friction.
Well, that's a big 5 points. Now, this will be interesting because the next jam will start off with a 4-2 pack advantage for Brisbane City Rollers.
Oh, no, we do have a 7-2 Vixen in our Caboolture Sports Club box, so it's a 3-2. So, BCR Punk Blockers, if you didn't see that in their warm-up, did work a lot on their 2 wall, so, getting that nice and ready, those skills set. But we have number 222, Vanessa Shredgrave. She's up against number 115, Necrophilia.
It's only a short pack, but number 389 Lethal just putting the pain with a bit of backup there from P40 Kitty Hawk, but still not being able to slow down a Nick Rowe-Philly who just smashes through with blunt force drawn for initial pass, but Vanessa Shredgrave also just managed to slide on through for initial pass as well.
Nick Rowe-Philly is trying to smash her way through. Oh, was it in time? Inquisition says no. 1 point.
So currently, as we can see on the big Derby scoreboard, we have 6 points for Sydney and just double that, 12 for Brisbane City Rollers. Now this will be, I reckon, a pretty close game. The prestige of the States is on trial here. I'm sure our very own Premier is watching this right now via YouTube. Should be very interested in what's happening.
Mid-biscuit, you think the Premier? Okay.
Well, definitely should be. Representing out
Premier,
there.
if you are in the comments, let us know.
Yes, please let us know. And it'd be a disgrace if you're not. There is so much Queensland action happening here today in the Morayfield Sports and Recreation Centre.
And looks like we have Damsel. She is the lead jammer, trying to do with a nice sneaky little star pass, but holding on to the star. Meanwhile, Dopamine is out, calling off the jam just in time, I believe. Yes, very nice. So BCR out with a bit of a vengeance. These first couple jams.
Now is if anyone out there can hear, is the commentators' mics about now? Because it was fading a bit in out before, but I think we got that well and truly adjusted at the moment. Video Bob's just having a bit of a tweak, but we got Grinner's name, and I am Meat Biscuit. We got Video Bob, and we also got Johnny Smash up there on the camera for all those who care and for those that missed it.
And if you're a fan of, in the Marvel movies when there's the end credits, stick around to the end. There might be a special reveal for the next Tropicarnage.
Well, that's exactly. It'll say they don't need commentators anymore. That's what they'll say. Commentators or announcers, please stay away. Oh, thanks, Commando Roll. Thank you very much for your input. So
hey Taylor, how is Canada? Is it cold? I just imagine it's always cold.
So we have out there, Unsteady has been rewarded as lead jammer and has a nice 5 points to add to the total for Sydney. Now, Sydney currently on 11, BCO on 16. Pulp Friction is completely held up by Scare Bear, but
Pulp Friction, she's very good, very quick, very punchy, but you put a solid mass in front of her, she has a lot harder time.
Now you can see that pyramid being held there by 40 Kitty Hawk, so strong. Pulp Friction's just not getting anywhere. It looks like Happy Cadaver just trying to get in to break those arms apart, trying to get Pulp Friction a little bit of movement in there. But no.
So what, Happy Cadaver, can't quite come an O, because if she comes an O's, that will put her pack right up out of the outer play. And we've had a switcheroo, Happy Cadaver in the wall, Slasher Heart Scare Bear playing O.
Yes, you can see her get really growly with the ultra violence there. Still taking on number 40 Kitty Hawk. And this comes in and has a bit of a slash also at 389 Lethal.
But Lethal living up to her name and being a killer of jammers.
A destroyer of all jammers.
Destroyer of jammers' souls. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, we got number 8, Minky. No, Minky does not have a star on her head. She's just trying to fool us all.
Yeah, just trying to trick everyone else. I think Nick Raffili was to look around, hey, we got 2 jammers on at the moment. But the actual jammer is number 222, Vanessa Shredgrave. Having a few big days. Remember, Sydney is undefeated at the moment.
So BCR taking away another lead jammer status. Looks like that pack is working overtime to keep Vanessa Shredgrave in behind them. Nick Raffili trying to work her lines. Seeing that not a lot of help is coming because all efforts are being made to keep Shredgrave from making her initial pass. But meanwhile, nice little adaptive little forward we have at the front there. Sydney just being a powerhouse in front of Nicorophilia. She is getting no purchase on them whatsoever.
Yeah, but Vanessa Shredgrave's not doing... Oh, no, she managed just to quickly just unsteady Scare Bear there a little bit. Just enough time to wriggle out.
Sometimes, like, good effective vote isn't always about, like, clearing players out of the way. It's unsettling that tripod. Like,
Yeah, a bit of a weight shift.
yeah,
going,
and the jammer gets, like, that little bit of a, like, you know, blockers putting on the wrong foot, and boom, they're out.
Yeah, 'cause that's all that took. Just a little bit of a weight shift and gone. Oh, here we go now. I don't know if you can hear that through the microphone, but the crowd is going absolutely spare. Honest Dave just doing a bit of a run around, and it looks, because the scores are so even, we got equal amount of joy for both teams. Currently Sydney on 19, BCR on 20. And we have a Warragamba Damsel out there jamming in the white for Sydney, the Assassins.
Oh, and Warragamba Damsel does take the outside line. And we have Dopamine still fighting tooth and nail against a four wall to try and get out, but she is very good at what she does.
Now, both Lethal and Kitty Hawk just putting some huge hits down there on Dopamine. Now, Dopamine having to yield pretty much a third of a track all the way behind Lethal. Now, Lethal just took a knee, got straight back up again, but is on the way to the official Moray Field Sports Centre penalty box.
And Dopamine getting past the last pure energy, who is... So if Letha is a killer of Jammer souls, I think those souls go to pure energy.
That's it, a stealer of souls. Thought it was like bad at stealing children, but still souls instead. Sydney had a massive game last night, just putting the pain on absolutely everyone that came anywhere near.
Although watching them play the Tories VICs yesterday, it was stressful to watch, because like, who's gonna take it? Like, even though like, neither team, like, you know, but
and then also having a big defeat against Card as well. It was pretty good, because it was the Assassins versus Assassins, making it difficult for the announcers. But now back on the flat track, we've got number 115 in the red, Nicorophilia.
And she's up against number 161, Unsteady.
Unsteady, who manages to get through for a huge 4 points.
So Nicorophilia does need to finish this scoring pass to equalise it up. She does have all 4.
This does a bit of a shimmy pass, number 52, Honey Punch.
So a 4-4 jam, so Sydney just keeping that lead about 4 points away, so a single scoring pass away.
Now we have both benchies seem to have the same glittery jacket down there. There's a one over the seat, and the benchy, it might be Stockard slamming for Sydney has put it on. So where there might be some sort of sight going on down here, maybe.
It's like, who gets the most glitter, like, glints in your eye?
Whoever gets the glitter on first gets to wear it.
We got number 40, Unforgiving Bunny, going for a sit in our Caboolture Sports Club penalty box.
Now, 1, 2, 3, Warragamba Damsel richly rewarded after doing a little bit of hard work to get lead jammer status. Now, just coming back around for another assault for a scoring pass. Now, P40 Kitty Hawk and number 52 Honey Punch still managing to hold Pulp Friction back, but Pulp Friction's doing all just stepping, trying to zig, trying to zag, but number 52 Honey Punch is well in command of that pyramid and actually thrusting Pulp Friction back inside the track. Now, Happy Cadaver doing the same thing, repaying back.
Pure Energy getting ripping and raring to stop Pulp Friction in her feet, but out of play was called, had to let it go.
Now, what do we have there? I think that might have been a 5 point. Oh, no, it was 10 points to Sydney. Now, Sydney now just slightly pulling away, just limiting BCR to no scoring points there at the moment.
And Kieran being, so Elvis number 2 being a good benchy, is going to be calling a team timeout. stop that momentum dead in its tracks.
Someone's got to put the sparkly jacket on. I think that is the secret to the success, Grinner.
It's the sparkly jacket, not the years of dedication, blood, sweat, and tears.
Sparkly jacket.
Sparkly jacket, okay. Well, we shall see if your theory proves true.
I reckon it's going to come out in half time. Now, we have a pretty decent crowd. There's not much seating room left. The two grandstands up the back are fully taken up. The Raptor Corn has been reinflated and has people sitting in it, so there's not too much room around. There's actually a pretty good crowd down here at the Morayfield Sport and Entertainment Centre.
And while we've got a bit of dead air, let's talk about one of our major sponsors for the weekend, Skate Connection. So, Skate Connection do have a lot of shops, stores around the Brisbane and Gold Coast area, so at least several locations in the area. Also, if you don't like leaving your house except for Derby, and you want your Derby gear to come to you, they do have an online web store. You can go to www.skateconnection.com.au, or if you don't want to type all those words in, go to Google and type Skate Connection.
Or you could probably even use Siri and just say it.
Just say it. And then Siri, those antics on my wish list. Bye.
Now, if anyone wants to we can do a quick run through. You just got to open up another tab while you're watching this and put an order in while you're doing it. It'll give you a bit of inspiration.
And the golden thing is you can still hear us talk.
Oh, now, that is certainly gold.
And number 4, Dopamine, is on the track, still struggling to get past a very, very hard wall of white. She's up against number 1, 2, 3, Warragamba Damsel.
Now, Warragamba Damsel has already gone through for an initial pass, but has completely come to a standstill.
Oh, but she's getting a little help from her friends. Just got to get past a Kimbo Kazi.
Which is not, I wouldn't imagine would be that easy. Extremely tall and extremely strong Kimbo Kazi. And also out there, there's Unforgiving Bunny, who just has always just scared me anyway.
Yeah, Unforgiving Bunny, I think your biggest strength is people's like, oh, you're not that big. And then all of a sudden oh, what's your oh, what? Yeah, what are you made out of?
Ow, that really hurts. And we can welcome back number 161 in the white, Unsteady, for Sydney Assassins.
And she's got number 115, Necrophilia.
Now, it's very hard work for both jammers out there, barely managing to even approach the pivot line. Now, Necrophilia is just having to yield all the way back behind Pure NRG, who's always in the action, so it seems.
But Honey does get a forearms penalty for hitting her out with her forearm, but did result in a full yield back for their jammer to get lead. So, in terms, worth the penalty, I'd say.
It's worth the penalty indeed, and there's actually no real advantage because there is 2 players in the pack, one of each team. And it looks like the next jam will actually start like that. Now, what did we get? I think we got 3 for the board for Sydney. Now, that takes their lead to exactly 20 points. BCR on 24 and Sydney on 44. And there is just in about a couple of seconds, it'll be just under 14 minutes left.
So as they've seen, Sydney's now like, okay, that's a warm. Okay, they've now figured out very quickly how BCR are going to play this game and have adapted, and it's now up to BCR now needs to change something up.
And that's actually the beauty of, recording all this stuff, because teams can go and put each other under scrutiny in the night before and just see exactly what they're going to do to make it all work. This sport has evolved so much over the years. Like, when I first started about 10 years ago announcing, it was all short shorts and stuff like that, and now it's compression suits.
And now playing in sheds.
and
now we're playing in sports.
And now actually playing on wooden floors instead of concrete floors with massive cracks in it, with pigeons still flying around inside.
We still train there.
I still train there.
We still train there, yeah. Hey, it's cheap.
A big shout out to the Pigeon and Poultry Pavilion at Ipswich Showgrounds, and also to the Toowoomba Showgrounds, which is probably about the same. And concrete is way hard than wood.
Yeah, it's pretty unforgiving, but speaking about unforgiving, we have number 1, 2, 3, Warragamba is a Damsel, and number 8, Pulp Friction. Pulp Friction trying to dart back and forth, trying to separate. Warragamba Damsel uses that safe, friendly side to get past.
Yeah, actually, I think just leant up against Pulp Friction as they went around the balance.
So BCR at a blistering pace, wanting that front pack because Pulp Friction is not too far behind Warragamba Damsel.
Now here we go now. All the jammers. Then we got P40 trying to speed up. Now no one seems to be wanting to call this off at the moment. They want the points.
So nice. Pulp Friction walking away with 3 points. And in those schools with the old schools called that a shanking.
Yeah, that is the spirit now. Good on BCR, putting 3 points up on the board, taking them to 27. Sydney on 46. Now we can welcome back in the white, number 161, Unsteady for
And up
Sydney.
against number 4, Dopamine.
Now here we go. We got the massive rollback happening, trying to ensnare each other's jammers in a trap, but Unsteady being pretty wily when it comes to that, just holds that inside line. Not to be outdone, Necrophilia as well just takes the outside line.
Vixen charging for that outside line. Unsteady Freddy running a foul by Kimbo. But Unsteady is through. But meanwhile, Dopamine has gone through untouched to get 4 points.
Yes, that was awesome work there by number 72. Vixen just managed to take the whole Sydney pack across the side, letting Dopamine go straight through.
Oh, and Dopamine getting hit to the inside line by Minky, the captain of the Assassins.
Now, at the moment, there is a 4-3 pack advantage to BCR, but the single player in the penalty box for Sydney has come back on just to stiffen up a bit of the defence. And that was number 12, Peppermint Snaps.
Unsteady still trying to work her way past a very, very strong and triangle up the front. Sydney O trying to come through, getting waylaid by Vixen, but does manage to get around that defender.
Yes, now number 12, straight from the penalty box. Pepper Snaps is trying to use Blunt Force Trauma, bludgeon a hole, and manages to take out Scare Bear for a penalty.
And Unsteady is through.
Well, that was pretty hard work. Now the pack still at a standstill, just waiting down there for the opposing jammers to come in and go crash and get wrapped up instead in a big trap. Oh, Unsteady well, that wasn't that unsteady. That was pretty amazing. Just managed to go around everybody and somehow stay in between the lines of the flat track and putting a huge 13 points up on the board, but not to be outdone, BCR putting 8.
So it's funny to watch this, like there's like gameplay, like it's just what is getting Sydney ahead by points wise is millimeters of things. Like just it's like, you know, they run that little bit quicker, they set that little bit faster. It's not like a one team's just like clearly, it's very, very subtle. So Sydney are just very good at what they do.
Now, as we can see now, it's exactly the same for both teams. There's a sweeper. We got Happy Cadaver sweeping for a BCR. And now everyone's just coming back trying to get Necrophilia out, get a hold. Oh, Necrophilia stays on 1 foot, somehow manages to stay in. That time goes over, has to come back, re-enter the pack nice and cleanly. Meanwhile, Vanessa Shredgave just shredding up the track, getting a full 5-point grand slam to add to the total for Sydney, the Assassins.
Necrophilia still trying to get her way out, and does. That is Necrophilia's initial pass, so about 45 seconds to get initial pass.
Yeah, Necrophilia just having to stash the helmet cover there as well, trying to pull out all the tricks in the book to get through.
So yeah, Shredgrave taking away the goods, though. 9 points in the jam. And on our Skate Connection Gem line, we have number 1, 2, 3, Warragamba Damsel in the white for the Sydney Assassins, and in the red for the BCR Punk Blockers, we have number 8, Pulp Friction.
Now, Warragamba Damsel somehow just managing to stay inside, but it looks like
Warragamba Damsel getting hit to the outside line by Happy Cadaver and Unforgiving Bonnie.
And run straight in the back of the same pair. It looks.
And Pulp Friction is the lead jammer after fighting many, many white blockers who are twice her size.
Yeah, that was. Now coming around a bit of speed. Just has to get past number 8, Miranda. Miranda giving heaps of grief out there and actually thrusting Pulp Friction back into
Pulp
the
Friction
center.
giving it back to her.
That's what it's all about. You say, you think, now you take this.
You give to me, I give to you.
I think it looks like number 313, Kimikaze, is given a bit of punishment, but Minky just comes in and puts a huge booty block on Kimikaze, getting that skater out of the way.
And Pulp Friction is free and clear. Points on the board. Ooh.
Now,
Did Warragamba Damsel take away points?
just a gleaned 2 so quickly, but a good jam from BCR, putting 9 on the board, taking their total to 44. Sydney putting 2 on the board, now sitting at 70 points.
So a very solid effort for number 8 Pulp Friction in that last jam. 9-point jams. I think it's a pretty good achievement against a very talented team of blockers in Sydney.
It looks like we have, for probably the first jam, a clean penalty box. So we've got all the players.
So it was Unsteady was trying to go up against Dopamine. Dopamine hitting it to the inside line, but Dopamine getting a penalty. The ref's still not echoing that penalty, so I'm not too sure what that was. Oh, but Unsteady is very steady on her feet.
Now, I looked a bit scrappy down there. I think it may have been a forearms. I'm not too sure about that, so please don't quote me on that. But all we know, there's a penalty box, and it is a power jam now for Unsteady, who is through for a scoring pass, picking up the maximum you can get, 5 points.
Oh, Unsteady getting around that outside line, getting shut down.
Unforgiving
There's
Bunny,
a strike
Scare
one.
Bear, still putting heaps of pressure on. Unforgiving Bunny just holding that booty out, not getting anywhere now, getting a bit of a rough up by Scare Bear.
Scarbo getting a multiplayer block there at the front there.
And I'm sure Unsteady was liking that. Gets a bit of a free pass, but still coming around to see if can somehow get around the trap that is laid there so stealthily by Brisbane City Rollers. So what have we got? I think that was just 10 points. No, sorry, I was going to say it should have been 12. It was 13 actually up there for Sydney. So,
So two laps while Dopamine was in the box, and then 3 in that last one. So
Yep, we're racking up some points there now. We're just 5 minutes left in the first half. BCR on 44.
I think gone are the days you see those big, like, 30-something point power jams, like, with that, like, a couple of years ago now, with Woofter changing that from a minute to 30 seconds, like, jammers are back very quickly.
I saw Gold Coast at the Southern Slam. Might have been the second or third Southern Slam. They were 43 points behind with only, like, 40 seconds left. It might have been like a minute and a bit, but they actually got those points in a power jam. I believe Johnny Smash might have been there. That's being his old team. Yeah, Ram Jam, that's who did it. Thank you very much, Johnny Smash. A big shout out there to Ram Jam for owning the jammer line on that day. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we got number 8, Pulp Friction against number 1, 2, 3, Warragamba Damsel on our Skate Connection jammer line.
Now we got just one player in the box for Sydney. And I believe it's number 12, Peppermint Snaps. Now I think Peppermint Snaps has been in there at least 2 or 3 times. So you just have to keep a little bit of an eye on giving away those penalties. There's still a whole half left to go.
Nice. So that Warragamba Damsel coming away with all 5 points. Meanwhile, Pulp Friction is out free and clear. Has to pass this one in that 20 feet, and she will get that point. Oh,
Looks like
just not.
Oh,
quite
that was pretty close, Grinner. You could see it like trying to speed up as much as possible.
But I believe. Ooh, Warragamba. Nope. I thought Warragamba was out of penalty. I was mistaken.
Just heading that way.
Just heading towards the box.
And here we go. And I thought Mr. Bump might have been coming out to ask a couple of questions, but just having a bit of G up for his own player, number 161, Unsteady. I think we got, for Brisbane City Rollers, we got number 4, Dopamine. But Unsteady just takes a huge step and goes all the way, doing it hard around the outside for lead jammer status.
Oh, dopamine is out.
Now, Unsteady trying to do a bit of an apex leap, but Scare Bear was right there, just holding that inside line and nowhere to go. And also got a couple of points for both. I think Sydney might have gleaned 3 points and gleaned 1 for BCR.
So it looks like Sydney might crack the triple digits before the half is done.
Well, I reckon BCR will be out there doing their darndest to try and stop that.
I think, yeah.
Necrophilia on the line up against number 222, Vanessa Shredgrave for Sydney.
And both players having all of their constitutions or blockers and jammers on track.
Now, once again, the trap has been sprung. Looks like Necrophilia just can't find anywhere to go, so he's just trying to go and help smash a hole.
It's either an unfriendly wall or a friendly wall that has no room.
Now, P40 Kitty Hawk just doing some amazing work, just wrapping Necrophilia right up and giving a bit of pain to Scare Bear as well.
Oh, but the Necrophilia is out.
And as too is Vanessa Shredgrave, both jammers free for their initial passes. And we got about a minute 12 left in this half and a minute 19 left in this jam.
So Sydney has sped up this pack to get points as well to speed the clock down. Oh, and it looks like Shredgrave will get the 4.
Now
Necrophilia will walk away with the 3.
Now Vanessa Shredgrave just putting on the speed. Now that was just a 1 point shanking as well, just quietly. So that.
Can we get a ref to check those skates for rockets?
Yeah, they got motorised wheels or something on them, Blacktooth Grinner. But another 3 points to add to BCR takes it to 53, and 4 points to add to Sydney takes Sydney the Assassins to 95. Now we've got just under 2 minutes left in this jam, but only 23 seconds left on the big derby clock. Now Warragamba Damsel. Quite quickly that time actually got lead jammer, not like the other couple of jams, but...
So the jam getting called there, and unless someone calls a timeout, I think that shall be our last. There it is. There's our half time.
Yeah, that was good work there by 981 Ashes to smash as you're holding the outside line. Warragamba Damsel had nowhere to go. So that's it. We have now just got a quick update on the score. 55 points for BCR and 98 points for Sydney. Now that was awesome work there as well by BCR, so it looked like every money that Sydney was going to get over the 100 before the halfway. So that's awesome work by BCR to just limit that.
So make sure you go get yourself a cup of tea, go to the bathroom, because you do not want to pee yourself right now.
No, definitely not.
Or ever, really.
Or ever, really, I was going to say.
It's a good general rule to live by. And also make sure you go check out one of our mates, sponsors, Skate Connection, www.skateconnection.com.au. If you've got some special someone, Christmas is coming.
And they've also got an awesome special on the day. If you buy any one full price skate, you get the second one for free.
That is a really good deal.
I think so too.
I always find like it's such a pain in the butt. I'm like, oh, I want to get this skate. Oh, it's like $300. I'm like, oh, okay, $300 for 2. Like, no, the one. So sometimes I just wait for these deals to come along.
You just got to wait for these deals to come along, and it's now a perfect time to go and order some stuff online.
Go check it out.
We will be back momentarily. That's Blacktooth Grinner and Meat Biscuit will speak to you in the very near future for the final.
That is not a threat. That is a promise.
No, that is a promise, because don't forget, this is the final of the Tropicarnage Cup, the glory, the prestige of the plastic-coated, gold-plated plate.
Hashtag keep it in Queensland.
No, well, that's it. We've already...
Let's see.
Tweed Valley have already taken one over the border. Now, can Sydney take it over the border as well and take all our precious gold over the border? Or can BCR somehow claw back and keep it here? Stay tuned and we will find out. Now, if you can see the screen, and we actually got the raffle going on at this very moment. Now, there is some massive prize on offer. There is actually 2 raffle prizes. So we have Bloody Laces in the green, looking amazing as always. We've got VD holding the box. Oh, it's a blue ticket at 051. So I wonder if we got any takers for that here right now. Now we got a very big crowd at the moment. Now there should be a winner potentially somewhere. Now there is a winner, but it doesn't see if is it going to be a redraw? Oh no, it's not going to be a redraw. This is the actually second ticket. Now almost losing the wig, Bloody Laces. Do we have a winner that's in-house? I love it when we have in-house winners. Oh, here we go. We do have a winner. Only had to take a few steps to grab that amazing pack. Now, VD is just going to go and put it under full scrutiny to make sure that ticket matches. But yes, it looks like a winner. VD cracks about a third of a smile and gives us the thumbs up. Now, I do believe that there is another prize. There is one of the rad shirts that's being blind auctioned off to raise some money for awareness for suicide. So we got some, looks like rump of steel skin just coming up. I think getting a little bit of assistance there, of course, by Bloody Laces. So I think, is Team Rad coming up now? Now, Team Rad mostly made of Mackay Staters. Oh, yes, here we go. So we have Rump of Steelskin just coming up here. There might be a price. We'll just see how much. It was a blind auction for the raddest of rad T-shirts. Actually, muscle shirt sleeve. This is the 80s. It has to be sleeves cut off. Now, this is a once-off shirt, and it is pretty awesome. It is, if anyone was watching any of the Rad games, it'll be one of these. We can see it down the front there now. Johnny Smash, that Rad shirt. There is only one of the only way you can get one off is to break into a player's house and steal it. Otherwise, you go in the blind auction. Oh, here we go. Now, that went for an awesome amount of $100. So that is straight up $100 to donate to raise some money for some suicide awareness. Now, especially out in the regional areas. Now, that's where I'm from, up in Toowoomba, and it is a big problem out in the rural areas. I mean, it's a big problem in the cities as well, but the more awareness, and all you got to do, just remember to ask your friends, ask anyone, are you okay? It doesn't just have to be on one day, it can be absolutely any day. But that's awesome. I would love that. I mean, not that it would fit me, but I would love to have that shirt myself.
Okay, so we are 2 minutes and 30 seconds from being back for our second half between on the grand final for Tropicarnage 2018 between the Brisbane City Roller Punk Blockers and Sydney Roller Derby League Assassins. So I think BCR definitely need to try and change their strategies up. They did come out very hard and fast in those first couple of opening jams, but Sydney adapting to their play and then just taking that score away from them. So, but not a huge gap though. That's not.
It's a measly 43 points.
So that's like a awesome 40-point jam.
That's it. We've already seen a couple of them this morning. We saw a 28-point jam. So it's not. It's like you can just cut that in half even. You can have like a 21 and maybe a 22-point jam.
Just like jammers talk to your blockers, like just don't let them pass. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Don't let them pass.
Be like Gandalf. You shall not pass.
Or be like the local bouncers at the local pub when you have no ID. Thou shall not pass.
So, a couple people on chat. Oh, we have Mama Raphelia on chat all the way from Gladstone. This is what I do love about the internet. It just brings the community together. You know, doesn't matter where you are, you can still watch a good game of Derby. And also a big thank you to Video Bob this weekend, who's pretty much worked tirelessly, has not taken breaks. I don't know how you do it. Like, I can't see any, like, cans that you've been, like, helping, like, you know, just limiting your water intake. Like, how do you do it, sir? Just, yeah.
Hard as nails. That's how this is done. I think Bob's actually been sleeping out in the car park in the car because it just has to be here and keep all this stuff running.
And also a big thank you to our NSOs and referees. Sharky, anyone who's ever been in the Australian and international ref scene knows who Sharky is. Has been around since ever. I don't think I've ever seen, like, also big ups to our head NSO, Mama Panda, who has been our head NSO for the entire weekend. So, Mama Panda, thank you very much, keeping our rosters up to date. You know, as commentators, we don't have, if it's not on the page, we usually stuff up and look stupid. But thank you, Mama Panda, for not making us look stupid.
No, it's been absolutely amazing, Mama Panda. Usually we get a few growls and a few death stares up here, but me personally, I've only got those from the referees for being too loud in the last game. So I managed to make it through 3 days. So far, so good.
And BCR definitely taking that advice, coming out hard out of the gate for the second half. Necrophilia has the coveted pointing ref.
Just managed to get straight around P40, but P40 held that line, and that was actually
Necrophilia getting a forearms penalty in the closing moments of that jam.
But the main thing was managed to glean 4 points to put up on the board now. For Sydney, they will actually be starting off in a power jam situation, and it will be number 123, Warragamba Damsel, taking on the might of the Brisbane City Rollers, who completely roll forward, trying to set a trap, trying to snare Warragamba Damsel.
Well, Warragamba Damsel very good with going edge to edge, separating those blockers, forcing an error. It looks like she has a spot on the outside line. Nope. It's shut down by Kimbo Kazi.
And we got number 88, Minky, in there trying to smash a hole with blunt force trauma to get a little bit of pressure off Warragamba Damsel.
But the Assassins have seen that Necrophilia is on her feet and is back on track.
Now that's really great work there for BCR. Warragamba Damsel has barely hit the second turn, and it's almost been a full minute, and there is still so much pressure. I think, there we go. I think that was number 88, Minky, just trying to charge in. Now 88, Minky also takes down a Necrophilia as well. Also do 2 things at once, multitask. That's pretty good.
Kimbo Kazi going for a direction penalty, but does manage to get the jammer yielded all the way behind. Oh, Warragamba.
Who was that? Well, that was Bunny, wasn't it?
That was Bunny. And
that was Bunny.
That was not a legal thing. So Punk Blockers down two blockers on track, but Necrophilia emerging from the bin, victorious to get lead jammer. So it looks like the Punk Blockers are going to speed this up to run the clock down to get their blockers back on track.
And that was a full minute and a half to get Lee Gemma doing a tough and good work from Nick Rafili to come from the penalty box and get rewarded as Lee Gemma. Now, after all that hard work, all that bludgeoning, all that blunt force trauma, that was no point scored for either team. So, BCR still on 59, Sydney on 98.
So both teams realizing that like now is the time to put in that overtime. You know, you want your yearly bonus. Here it is. Here's the time to pull the lead out.
So we got a pretty short pack there for both teams. I think it's a 3-2 advantage as well. But Kimbo Carr's managed to come on, get a bit of resistance going, and Unforgiving Bunny's actually standing up. So it won't be too much longer before Bunny's back on track. But it still does give number 222 Vanessa Shredgrave the chance of being Lee Gemma, but Dopamine, not to be outclassed, is through from the initial pass as well. Oh, there we go. Vanessa Shredgrave just calls off that jam and gets 3 points. Dopamine was coming in at speed, but called off with precise timing. Now, Sydney's actually hit the ton mark now. So, BCR, they've gleaned a bit back. They're only 42 points behind. Now, they were 47 a little while ago. So, gleaning a few points back. All it takes, a couple here and there. Oh, Minky just putting a huge hit there on Pulp Friction. But Pulp Friction almost bent in half. But somehow managed to stay within the lines of the track. Get back up, and it looks like pushing away for Lee Gemma. But Unsteady just sees a massive gap, goes all the way through, and is rewarded as Lee Gemma. Now Unsteady returning back, about to attack the back of the pack. Pulp Friction still being held up there with number 8, Miranda, as the powerhouse, holding that pyramid together. Now getting a bit of a lashing by one, bit of a lashing down as well.
Unsteady trying to get past, but obviously Slash Hard Scarebag coming in and interrupting that on turn at the top of this bottom apex. Pulp Friction is out though. Oh, not quite. It is a forearms penalty. She'll be going to our Water Sports Centre penalty bin.
Now, I just have to apologise. It looks like number 23, Icy Red, actually is on the flat track. There's number 23, but that was crossed out, so I do apologise for that. So I just have to remember that for the end. Now, that was another 9 points put on there by Sydney, taking them to 110 and actually limiting BCR to no scoring points that time. Now we've got number 123, Warragamba Damsel. It looks like, looks like there is an official review. Here we go, called by Elvis from BCR.
I think they're going to try and get their jammer out of the penalty bin. That's going to be my guess. Or they're going to try and put the other jammer in.
Yes. Both of those are extremely good options.
Yeah.
Let's see now. We do apologise that it's not quite working as well with the wireless mic. It works perfectly over there for the in-house, but the cable's plugged in. There's a little bit of something going on, but nothing we can do about that. We apologise, but we'll try and find out with our own ears what's going on down there. Now we do have just over 24 minutes left in the second half. BCR on 59, Sydney on 113. Still plenty of time for plenty of more points. And stick around, because on the live feed we will be showing all the celebrations at the end. We're going to have to give out some medals, some trophies for the Division 2 winners and the Division 1 winners, which is still not quite decided as yet, as you can see, because you're watching that live in the house right now.
And if you're watching this from the future, how is the future? Are they flying hoverboards yet?
Well, they're supposed to be doing that. Mattel was supposed to bring them out in the 80s.
Mattel. Just letting us down, really. Letting society down in general. Like,
I remember Back to the Future, all you could see was a massive Mattel sign on the bottom for a bit of propaganda with the can of Pepsi there as well.
so I don't know if you can hear, but like the crowd is syncing, adding their lovely sound effects to the to the Jam Timer's official review hand signals. And the Jam Timer is doing a very good professional job of not cracking up.
It's basically going like, whoop. Ooh. It's driving me insane here, so I'm actually lucky. You are lucky online that you cannot hear it. Yep. This is what boredom does, fans. It makes people,
And it looks like we now have Slane. The head ref is now talking with the PCR. I'm not sorry, the Sydney bench.
It's driving you
captain.
insane, and we've got headphones on and we
Yeah.
can still hear it. Now, shouldn't they be looking after their children or something as opposed to trying to heckle out the Jam Timer?
Oh, there's a smile.
Yeah, she's about to lose it. Yep.
It is very distracting.
Yeah, boredom's a terrible thing, Blacktooth Grinner, I tell you. Oh, here we go. Slane's got something to say. Oh, there we go now. Blacktooth Grinner, you were right. Brisbane was trying to get the opposing jammer in the bin with a sort of, I think it might have been a forearms contact call.
But referees are like, nope, this is not a reftocracy, this is a rectatorship.
Yep, Slane's having none of it. So off we go. We got Pulp Fiction for BCR, and we got Warragamba Damsel for Sydney, the Assassins. Now there we go, Unforgiving Bunny just putting on the paint that pyramid with Scare Bear. And I think it might even be Ashes to Smashes out there as well. And Kimbo Kazi's lurking there in the background.
So Warragamba Damsel only having 2 defenders left. Oh, but there's a multiplayer block on Scarebear. So Unforgiving Bunny is to be unforgiving. A little bit of help from her friends. Warragamba Damsel is out.
Now, number 52, Honey Punch is coming in and putting a bit of a hip check on Bunny. Just get out of the way. And Unforgiving Bunny now is sitting down beside Scare Bear in the penalty box. So this jam will start off and it'll be a 4-2 pack advantage for Sydney, the Assassins.
So just look at it. So if the future, like, did the Scartel take out AMRD Nationals? I'm going to just say yeah. Totally, we just dominated it, We sports harder than those sports teams and took home the gold. And we all lived happily ever after.
And Caitlin, I didn't realise you could hear that, but I do feel for you.
Oh, Necrophilia. Getting hit to the outside line, but getting a big of a follow-up hit. Still trying to come up against Minky, but Minky's like, nope. This line is mine. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Now, number 222, Vanessa Redgrave taking full advantage of the short pack here. Already through for not only the initial, already through for a 5-point scoring pass. Now, Unforgiving Bunny comes back to stiffen up the defence for BCR. Necrophilia now through for initial pass, but having to stash the helmet cover.
So City just making that gap a little bit longer. So 125 to 59.
And now, Tonya, that sparkle jacket is even closer to the camera now. So, here we go now. Speaking of.
It's blinding.
It is blinding. Now, we've got Unsteady, number 161 on the jammer line for Sydney. And we have a Dopamine for Brisbane City Rollers. Both jammers not getting very far at all. Looks like Kimbo Kazi's all over unsteady. And we've even got Happy Cadaver in there ready as a sweeper.
Kimbo Kazi getting a penalty, so she is back in. Dopamine is the lead jammer. She looks very happy, all confused and relieved. So many emotions I imagine going through her
all
head.
at the same time. Now, Dopamine just putting on the sprints, coming in at great speed, managing to glean 2 points, but I think that was actually followed up as well by 2 points from Sydney. Geez, it's tough out there in a flat track. Grinner doing so much work just to get 1 or 2 points per jam. So it actually shows how even both of these teams actually are. Pretty much got the same sort of tactics. You can even see down there number 123 Warragamba Damsel and Necrophilia 115 are almost exactly the same size in height.
Necrophilia is still struggling at the back there. She does have a 4-wall on her now because the punk blockers are all spread out and there's only 2 left on the track. Well, meanwhile, Kimbo Kazi with her big, long, powerful body comes in and assaults that Sydney wall.
Yeah, it just loves coming swinging. Now, Necrophilia just stashed the helmet cover. Now just dons it back on. It's coming to try and score some points.
We get bodies going everywhere. So Minky trying to offense on slash out Scarebear. Scarebear is like, instead of like taking it on force, redirects that force, and Minky goes for a fly.
Yes, but if I don't know if you saw that on camera, Scarebear actually turned it around and helped Minky back up. He goes, yeah, awesome. That was fun.
You want to do it again sometime?
Yeah, we'll do. I'll meet you on the same corner.
We'll meet here every year and celebrate.
Yeah, we'll meet here every jam and celebrate. Now, BCR on 61. Sydney just starting to pull away a little bit now on 130 points. Now, still, as you were saying before about pretty similar tactics, both jammers are ensnared in opposing traps.
So Sydney with all 4 blockers, but still being a little bit more patient. Letting Shredgrave do the work up the front there. Has only got 1 person to get past. Scarebear getting a high block penalty though at the end there. So Pulp Friction still fighting tooth and nail to get past this very, very slow white 4-wall. Oh, but it's been broken up. So it looks like Lethal has come out to give Shredgrave a hand, but Lethal's calling up her pack. She needs the distance. Takes him up, but it looks like we nearly have an out of play at the rear. No, we're still in bounds.
Just still in bounds. It's very handy how they actually have taped out the yard marks there for our help, but it looks like Unforgiving Bunny number 40 might have had an out of play block there as well.
And Shredgrave goes around for another scoring pass, untouched.
And that was a full 5-pointer as well. Now, up the front, I can see Honey Punch having a bit of a battle off with Scarebear.
And Pulp Friction taking a little bit of a time to get up because that looked like it hurt.
Oh, but just got straight up and just basically sprinted through the entire pack. Yeah, here we go. That was an initial pass, actually, for Dopamine.
Pulp Friction.
Oh, sorry, Pulp Friction. Oh, sorry. I do apologise, Derby fans out there. But that was an actual 17-point jam for Sydney, the Assassins. And they're just starting to pull a little bit away now. BCR on 61. Sydney on a 147.
The Sydney defense doing a very nice job of denying points in those last couple jams.
Now, there is currently a 4-3 pack advantage as well to Sydney. Now, Unforgiving Bunny just comes in to stiffen up the defence at a much-needed position at the moment. Oh, we've lost a knee pad. It just went flying off into the referee's area. Now, number 12, Peppermint Snaps, having a sit-down again now.
And Dopamine still got... Oh, nearly took the... Oh, no. She is lead. Seeing that there's no point trying to keep it going, so call it off. Yeah, we got to have number 115, Necrophilia, in the red for the BCR Punk Blockers. And she's going to be up to number 123, Warragamba. I keep going to say Warragamba Slammer. Warragamba Damsel in the white for the Sydney Roller Derby League, the Assassins.
Because from what I understand or remember, I think Warragamba actually is a dam.
dam.
It is a dam. That's
And
what I was
apparently,
thinking.
Slammer.
Damsel.
Damsel is a water engineer.
Mm.
So, props, points. I think she should get points for the name.
No, exactly that it. And everybody out there, have a drink. Have a drink of that fine water that you got down there for Warragamba Damsel.
Warragamba Damsel trying to go around the inside line, but getting denied. Meanwhile, Necrophilia is through, taking pure energy to get a penalty.
Now, Sydney is rapidly losing some blockers out there. There is only a jammer and a blocker, the co-captain, P40 Kitty Hawk.
Warragamba Damsel looks like still on the initial pass. Necrophilia narrowly missing out on a jammer lap point.
Yeah, P40 Kitty Hawk just putting in a booty box, just slowing down a bit of speed of Necrophilia. Anyway, now Necrophilia managed to get another 9 points to add to the total. So now it's been clawed back to a 77-point difference.
77, 15 minutes and 20 to go. I think, that requires the BCR pump blockers to really lock down those jammers. They really need those zero jams that they've been having.
And here's, speak of what you're saying, we've got almost the entire pack have fully wrapped up the number 222, Vanessa Shredgrave.
Shredgrave, like very, very keen eyes, not yielding to the entire pack, just to the individuals that she has to yield to.
Oh, here we go now.
Dopamine is free, but that out of play. Dopamine, has now realised she does not have to yield to her.
Yeah, Honey Punch just coming there for a bit of a late one. It was a fair way ahead too.
Yep. Getting an out of play penalty.
Now there has been, was that a star pass or was this a stash? No, it was just a stashing. Vanessa Shredgrave just stashing the star helmet cover. Trying to be a little bit discreet, trying to pull all the tricks out in the book, and I think that again is a 4-pointer, I should say, for BCR. So BCR bring that deficit down to 73 and not letting Sydney score any more points at the moment.
With MRDA. Well, that Commando, the MRDA and Woofter teams. Well, let's not get into this. let's concentrate on the derby.
Yeah, but you did. I'm not even going to comment on that one. I'm just hush my mouth.
Oh, Necrophilia holding herself in after Minky trying to hit her out. Unsteady, getting hit off track, but was there points? There's points.
Just a couple there. Necrophilia just slightly unlucky not to manage to glean 1 or 2 as well. Coming in at speed in the dying end of that fourth whistle.
And Sawyer legs off number 25, making her first jam for this game. Sawyer also one of the other.
There's another bloke down there, Video Bob, with the camera. Oh, is he one of your minions? That's okay. Oh, just a ring in. These people just do whatever. They should come up here, introduce themselves to you, and then ask permission to film the derby as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so number 24, Sawyer legs off, is still trying to fight for her initial pass, but number 1, 2, 3, the Warragamba Damsel is out and on hunt for points. Hunt for the red BCR points. I was going to go with Red October, but it is October actually.
It is now. It is. Today is October.
Oh, but Warragamba Damsel still fighting to finish that pass. Sawyer she has been left alone because BCR pump blockers are losing blockers left and right.
Was that the red leader as well, I think? Oh, no, it was Chest. I thought it might have been Slash Shout Scare Bear, but...
Damsel is out. Sawyer legs off, still got lethal pure NRG.
Yeah, pure
to get past.
Pure NRG has just been destroying people all weekend. Now, that was pretty easy for Warragamba Damsel. Just skating on, just casually past the entire pack on the inside line. Now, Unforgiving Bunny has returned from the bench, and Kimbo Kazi just smashes in, wrapping up Warragamba Damsel with a bit of help there from Unforgiving Bunny. And I think it's Happy Cadaver just holding that all together.
Sawyer Legs Off has to stash the panty, looking to get a bit of help from her pivot there, number 3-3,
But runs
Big Chester.
But runs afoul of number 12, Peppermint Snaps.
Just snaps her right in that nook there.
Now, it looks like a big circle of people out there. Both packs and all the jammers are all intertwined now. Unforgiving Bunny just trying to push Warragamba Damsel out. Trying to force a bit of a penalty there, but almost looks like that was successful, but the jam timed out. And Sydney has put a huge 13 points on the board. So BCR currently 74, Sydney 163 with 10 and pretty much 10 and a half minutes left.
10 minutes of Tropicarnage 2018. Oh, what shall we do after 10 minutes? And number 4 dopamine on there. It looks like Shredgrave just absolutely annihilating that wall. And here we go. They comes up again. Does get a bit of stoppage there from Vixen and Unforgiving Bunny. And Ash just smashes, but finds that hole on the inside line. And we have a high block penalty. Looks like, I was about to say lethal, but that has not gone lethal. It is up to number 2, 3. Oh, Icy Red, whose name is crossed out on our list for some reason.
That's it, number 2-3 is there, so I don't know what happened there, but luckily we can still barely read through the crossout.
I was not elected to read.
Now, Commander, I can tell you a bit about what Toowoomba does. We have men, we have women, we have mixed teams, and we have about 4 teams of juniors, some of which are in the national team. So pretty much up there, everyone can skate and have a really, really good time. And a huge shout out to all the Toowoomba players watching right at this moment.
And here we go. So a good, nice tripod up against Unsteady. Ash just smashes with the smash the outside line.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Pulp Friction has finished with that initial pass.
Now Unsteady still doing it tough up there. Number 72, Vixen, just putting on the punishment. I think the Vixen just might have copped a little bit to the side as well. So what we got? We got 2 points up on the board now for Sydney. BCR definitely making it tough for Sydney to score. Now we got Slash Your Heart Scare Bear pretty much pressing right up against, pretty much right up against 1, 2, 3 Warragamba Damsel.
So Warragamba Damsel trying to take that outside line. Dart for the back in, getting snagged out there. Oh, but Necrophilia has gone for a cut track penalty, so she'll be sitting in our Caboolture Sports Club bin. But yeah, but it does look like that Warragamba Damsel is finished with an initial pass. I think the strain of the weekend is definitely taking its toll, seeing her skate around that track.
And Commando Roll, I wish they were, but our men's team and that are pretty much of a secret society. No one really knows what happens, and no one really knows.
Oh, I think you got a couple of the Toowoomba people are going to be playing with Tasmania.
Exactly right, with other teams. That's exactly right. Our Toowoomba players always get out there. We had a few playing in some other leagues as well today, so you will see some. And they are all good blokes, I can tell you that.
They've all had to get their visas approved to go live in Tasmania, because as we all know, it's totally a different country.
Well, I don't think they're getting visas approved. I think they're just getting illegally taken there by some Indonesian boats, as far as I know.
Oh, wow, we biscuit.
Club doesn't have much money.
So we have a team timeout by BCR Punk Blockers. Thank you, Elvis. So
now this time is absolutely going nowhere. There's under right now 7.5 minutes left. Now BCR on 74, Sydney on 172 have extended that to a 98-point lead at the moment. I still haven't seen the other glittery jacket come out yet. I can see it sitting there.
It's still sitting there.
It's still sitting there, poised and primed and ready.
But I do believe once this game is over, I think you'll definitely see the glue jacket come out. But I also think it's probably a little warm for a jacket.
I reckon
It's totally not like. I understand that the City Bench is suffering for fashion right now, but you know.
Maybe it's like a Highlander jacket. There can be only one, and if there's two in the same room, someone gets their heads cut off. So I'll just put it down. That must be what it is. Oh, here we go. Vanessa Shredgrave just pumping those skates, getting completely rich rewarded as lead jammer. Looks across to Mr. Bump, and he's just going. I think it's the go around again symbol. Oh no, he's changed now. Call that off because Nick Rofilia was coming through at some speed.
And just under 7 minutes, we have number 4, Dopamine for the Brisbane City Punk Blockers, and she is against number 1, the 6'1", Unsteady. To both. Oh no, we do have Ashes to Smashes in our Caboolture Sports Club penalty box, so the Punk Blockers will be 1 down. And it looks like Mickey's getting all up in the PB's business. Unsteady is free and clear with the ref pointing. Dopamine tried to take it off, but getting snagged on like a rivet in her helmet.
Yeah, Minky's still putting the paint on. Yeah, it's pretty hard when you got an arm up in the air and getting a snagged and getting smashed up by Minky.
So, not a penalty you see often from jammers, a multiplayer block from a jammer. So
just grabbing on, maybe.
Yeah, for those that are playing the bingo at home, take a square off.
Have a drink of water from the Warragamba Dam. Oh, now here we go. There is mad shouts of call coming from everywhere out there. And that's exactly what just happened. We got 5 points to add to the total for Sydney. And there is 5 3/4 of a minute left in this game. BCR 74. Sydney on a 186 points. There we go. There's a massive rollback, and Dopamine is still sitting in the penalty box, and Peppermint snaps.
Why have they not been jamming Peppermint all day?
Well, there must be the secret weapon or something. Just leave it fully till last. But one
Peppermint
straight
snaps
in the back of a Bo Fracture.
And Bo did not crumble under the pressure.
Now this is pretty much a 3/4 of a track rollback, but Dopamine is back and through for initial pass. Now I don't believe Peppermint Snaps has. That's why she's back on a scoring pass as we speak. Now just watching what's happening with Dopamine. Dopamine desperately trying to get around past Minky, but couldn't capitalise and glean a point.
And in the white for the Sydney Roller Derby League Assassins, also we have Shredgrave. And in the red for the Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers, we have a Necrophilia.
Yeah, and that was a 4-point jam there for Peppermint Snaps add to the total. Now currently BCR 74, Sydney 190. We have Vanessa Shredgrave doing it actually pretty tough up the front, got nowhere to go. Is that Kimbo Kazi? It sure is, runs afoul of Kimbo Kazi.
But she is good, so that means she is the lead jammer. Yeah, Necrophilia is still trying to fight, but has a tough wall of white, and her pack is so far away.
Yeah, P40 Kitty Hawk is definitely holding that pyramid together. There is nowhere to go. Looks like Necrophilia is trying to do a bit of a step. BCR's trying to keep the pack back, trying to get a out-of-play block penalty on a couple of players, but not unfortunate. But here we go.
Here we go.
Eye to eye, head to head, toe to toe.
Necrophilia trying to block, but realizes that she has no idea how to do this skill. So Pepper, so Commander Roy informs us that Pepper has just gotten the tap up from the SIDLB team, the Snipers, to come up to the Assassins. So
I'd definitely say give Peppermint Snaps a run.
And speaking of running, we have a number 8 Pulp Fiction and a 1-6-1 unsteady. So this is maybe in our final last couple of jams for this.
Oh, here we go. Now the pack is pressed so hard up against each other. There's nowhere for absolutely anybody to move.
But Pulp Friction did manage to get out before she got off track, so she is the lead jammer.
Now Scare Bear has actually...
Nice. So Pulp Friction is out. I don't think she quite... Yep, there we go.
Now I think Scare Bears actually might have accumulated almost to the limit.
So it looks like that may be her 7th, so a sub will have to come in to sit.
It looks like that's exactly what's happening. So we have a substitute in. Scare Bear is just relinquishing the captain over to number 72, Vixen. Has fouled out with only a minute left, so Scare Bears always has an amazing game, always there with the ultra violence, taking the rules and the sport to the limit.
And Warrior Gamer Damsel and Dopamine going head to head on our track currently. Warrior Gamer Damsel have a bit of a trouble there with a Kimbo Kazi and a Vixen. But we have a good, the start pass is good, and Kitty Hawk, the captain for the Assassins, is our new jammer.
So, amazing seeing Kitty Hawk get a run. I remember the second Southern Slam, I met Kitty Hawk P40 because I actually owned a motor out of a Kitty Hawk, so I had plenty to talk about with her. And I know Kitty Hawk is powered by Allison V1710, 28 litres of V12 power.
And we have 56 seconds, so it will be our last jam.
Oh, there's still a couple timeouts. There's still a couple of reviews.
No.
Why not use them up, Grinner, I say?
No, this will be our last jam. Unless Necrophilia can get 111 points, and we won't be getting an overtime jam. So, come on, Nick. I believe in you.
I still hope for one more jam. Don't you worry about that, Grinner. It's always one more jam. But we are right down in to the final seconds. Vanessa Shredgrave is lead jammer for Sydney.
So it looks like Vanessa's keeping an eye on the clock. She's waiting for that last couple of seconds.
Oh, and that's exactly what she does.
So we have 6 seconds. Oh, Sydney.
Oh,
Mr.
they
Bump
did.
Getting another jam.
Oh, yeah. See, you got him. Might as well use them, Grinner. I do reckon.
Hey, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Exactly it. I mean, they go to a lot. They go to a lot of effort of putting those dots and making them flash up on the big derby scoreboard. So you might as well use them up. You might as well use the technology to your advantage.
Yeah, I just realised, Mr. Bump not called a timeout this entire bout until right now.
I reckon.
It looks like we have a pure NRG jamming for the Sydney Assassins.
Oh, here now. This is an awesome reward for Pure Energy. Has been blocking like nobody else over this tournament. Now, here we go. And we actually have a full set of blockers. No one in the Morrowfield Sport and Entertainment Centre penalty box.
And without whistle, we are ready for our 30 seconds. And that's the 5 for the hand up. Pure NRG.
Well, just takes out Kimbo Kasi straight over the top. Pure Energy definitely lives up to the name. And not slowed down this whole tournament. Now they are trying to make an example, I believe, of Pure Energy here.
And Necrophilia on the track as a blocker has gone to the penalty box. NRG just a little more.
One more play to get past. We can hear the crowd go wild, calling out Pure Energy and lead jammer status for Pure Energy. Now coming around, trying to attempt to get a scoring pass. Has to get through about 4 blockers. It's still skating backwards. Goes past everybody skating backwards. Doesn't get any better than that, Grinner. And guess what? There is still a minute left. And
Pulp Friction finally looks like she may get out. Little bit of a spin, and she is gone.
now, Pure Energy, I don't think we'll call this off for anything.
Oh, big bit of a tumble there on turn 2 between Kimbo
actually,
and
there we
Pure
go.
Energy.
It took a massive hit. Oh, can't call it off. Here we go. No, cannot call it off.
Getting a low block penalty.
Now, a low block on Kimbo Kaj. Now, Kimbo Kaj did extremely well to knock Pure Energy almost into the court next door. Now, this gives Pulp Friction a very own power jam.
This is absolute madness. Jammers blocking, blockers jamming.
It's
What is this? Is this the end times?
This is roller derby or the zombie apocalypse. I think you could be right about that, Corinna. Now, we've still got 16 seconds left. No one's showing absolutely any sign of slowing down until the trap of doom has been sprung. Now, once again, P40 Kitty Hawk.
And Pure Energy is back.
Oh, trying to do an
not
apex
getting that
leap.
apex jump.
Right on the death of, but everybody give it up for Pure Energy. But even more, give it up for BCR on 90 points and give it up doubly for Sydney Roller Derby League, the Assassins. Unofficial score of 211.
But don't count your chickens. We still have to have our jam refs check the scores.
Oh, exactly.
Oh,
it.
no, there it is. It's already done.
Oh, no.
There's the whistle.
Well, they didn't check. They just blew the whistle.
Yeah. So that is our final score. So 211 points to 91. So the Assassins, so the cup, neither cups are staying in Queensland.
They have gone. Now, I have been watching this all weekend. I really love the way Sydney goes out and thanks all the officials after every game. That is totally amazing. Should be more of that up here, I dare say. I'll tell you that.
So that will leave the BCR Punk Blockers in second place for the 2018 Tropicarnage Cup. So in no small achievement to achieve second place, I believe. Like, even though, yeah, taking the silver, still a very hard-fought game. One of their first games, yeah. The road to this is the notorious VICs. There I go. Taking it, like, narrowly taking it away from them.
But now there's a huge ton of players. Let's give it up for the Sydney Roller Derby League, the victors of the Tropicarnage Cup 2018. Number 12, Peppermint Snaps, 120, Pure Energy. 123, Warragamba Damsel. 161, Unsteady. 222, Vanessa Shredgrave. Number 23, she's there, Icy Red. 389, Lethal. 40, Kitty Hawk, co-captain. 52, Honey Punch. Number 8, Miranda. Number 88, Minky, co-captain. Bench coach, Mr. Bump. Coach assistant, Stockyard Slamming lineups. Artemisia. Now hand over Grenard. He can go through the BCR team. Also in the Tunnel of Love.
And for the BCR Punk Blockers, we have 00 Zoom Zoom. Number 115, Necrophilia. Number 25, Sawyer Legs Off. Number 313, Kimbo Kaze. Number 32, Scare Bear. Number 33, Big Chester. Number 37, Happy Cadaver. Number 4, Dopamine. Number 40, Unforgiving Bunny. Claire Project. Benching, taking out the benching for this game. Number 72, Vixen. Number 8, Pulp Friction. Number 911, Bo Fraction. Number 981, Ashes to Smashes. And their bench coach, Elvis, who comes with the hits all the time. And with their coaching assistant, Blondie. And also Synaptic Kid helping out in the lineups too.
Oh, that has been totally amazing. And for all the teams that got into the final series, I really hope that puts your Woofter ratings right up there. Especially Tweed Valley, I hope. They were probably gone up by about 3,000 points for their massive win in Division 2.
Yeah, it'll be good to see the flat track stats come out in the next little bit. But it has been a lovely, lovely weekend. And
You're getting some love from Commando Roll.
I will see you there in Perth, Commando. It shall be fun.
Yes, and thanks for the appreciation as well, Commando, for everybody out there. I'll pass it on to our team at the moment. We got Johnny Smash, and we got Video Bob, we got Meat Biscuit, and we got, as you know so well, Blacktooth Grinner, a powerhouse of skating and hating himself.
I would not say a powerhouse.
Well,
It's just really good at holding my ground because I'm so big.
And it's probably the first time I've ever seen you in a non-shirt with Satan on it. You've actually got representing, which I think there's something wrong with that, wearing team colours in a commentary box.
What is wrong with that? Where is it written down that we have to be impartial?
Yeah, I can't talk. I had Toowoomba City Rollers garb on yesterday, but they're not, not even here. But still, represent,
Anyway, well, I've got to go reconsider my life because I don't know what to do with it now. Oh, yeah, we have a camera pointed at us. Thanks for that, Johnny Smash. Yep.
Thank you very much, Johnny Smash. It has been a great weekend. I think between us, how many games did we all commentate? Probably like hundreds. It would have been at least, 30-something games? Heaps.
I just stopped counting.
Heaps of games.
Many games. So, a big props to the Sydney Assassins. They did an amazing job. Also, thank you to the BCR Punk Blockers, our Div 2 winners, Tweed Valley Vixens, and just not quite getting there. The Sun State Killer team, but honestly, and every team that has come along this weekend, they've all been amazing games of Derby, and a big shout out to Queensland Roller Derby League, our organisers for Tropicarnage 2018. Thank you for Skate Connection, our major sponsor for this weekend, and also the Caboolture Sports Club. Without your help, we would not be able to do events like this. Also, a big thanks to you to Moray Field Sports and Events Centre, this lovely establishment we've had held our bout in. If not, we would have been rained on yesterday, and we'd have to keep going.
Exactly right. There has been players and officials all the way. I believe there's been one from Japan. And all the way from pretty much Cairns to Adelaide. Now, that is a huge coastline of Derby that is representing here right now. Or was, I should say. Over not right now, because it's all over. But for the last couple of days anyway, Derby fans. Now, we still have the presentations, the medals to give out. So I think Honest Dave will be running down there, handing out lays. I might even just sit up here with Bob and Johnny Smash, because you'll still need to see all that being happening, I guess. So we might just go through that while we're at it.
But in the meantime, it has been a pleasure. Peace.
Yeah, someone said photos. I'll definitely stay up here, video, Bob. Thank you very much for that.
I'll Photoshop you in later.
Yeah, just exactly right. Photoshop me in from the 2012 one. Yeah. I had a nicer shirt on then.
Anyway, it has been a pleasure. Go hang around for our award session so you can see your favorite team get some medals, and we will...
And the glory.
Yeah.
And the prestige. The prestige. Now, I don't know how they're going to lift those gold-plated plastic cups up, because they look really, really heavy.
Especially after the weekend of playing Derby, the arms would definitely be jelly. But remember, pain is temporary, but glory is forever.
Exactly. Prestige lasts a lifetime. We shall be back, Derby fans. We'll let you know. We'll just go get a few photos. We'll let you know what's happening with all the medals and stuff as well. We shall be back in the very near future.
Bye now.